Hello, everybody. I have dipped my head into all the little mini camps around the league. Most of them, not all of them. And of course, I looked in on ours. So if you hadn't got the information from our mini camps, I have that as well. But I also looked into the others. Let's start with the Cowboys first. With us, we kind of got a glimpse of what our defensive line is probably going to look like. We have Mazi right there in the middle. Mazi and Jonathan Hankins right there in the middle. Then you have Bohanna, if he makes the team. It's going to get, you see the numbers are going to get pretty heavy there on the defensive line in just a second. But you got Mazi and Jonathan Hankins right there in the middle, two big guys. And their job is just going to be to stop people and make them go this way and that way. And then you have Osa and Neville Gallimore on one side. And then you have Golston and Fehoko on the other side. And the one that intrigues me is Fehoko because he really has a chance to get a lot of reps right there at that position. He's right at 280. They want him at 290, which makes me happy because if he can keep that same motor, which I think the motor is up here. I don't think it's your body. But if he can keep the same motor and the same attack, relentless on every play, if he can keep that at 290, he's going to be a serious problem. And all three of them together just open things up for number 11. They really do. Okay, next we have Duce. Duce said he's ready to return, going to be a return man. We don't know if he can do it because he was actually too precious at KSU to use it as a return man, but they need him at running back. So, in the pros, he said, of course he's willing to do that. He's coming in as a 6th rounder, but it's just like, to me, it's just like Pollard. Pollard came in and he could return because he was doing it in Kentucky because, they had a loaded backfield and that was a way to get the ball in Pollard's hands. And with us, it still was a way to get the ball in Pollard's hands because we had Zeke. Now we have Pollard. This is going to be a way to get the ball into Duce's hands. And a punt is like, just getting the ball into your athlete's hand and letting him do what he's going to do. A kickoff, Deion Sanders told us that kickoff returns and punt returns are totally two different things. So Turpin, you can have the kickoff returns. You're the all-pro, man. You're the all-pro. All right, I'm just kidding. Isiah Land, I don't think I've been brought up Isiah Land in this on these videos, but he's an undrafted free agent from the Rattlers, from Jackson State. And he is, I think, like a Hassan Reddick type. You know what I'm saying? He's 6'4", 225. And they're playing him off the ball as well as edge. So I thought he was going to be, when 11's not rushing, he'll be rushing or something like that. But they're using him as off ball as well. And if he can play off ball with that size, and if you look at him, he's very lean. He looks like an athlete. He really, really does. So I'm very interested. I'm going to keep an eye on Isiah Land during training camp. Demarvion Overshown was our best shot he's our best shot at a great off ball linebacker, and he's doing well as well. Earl Bostick, offensive tackle from Kansas. He was undrafted free agent. He got the same deal as Hunter Lemke. So, which is 200, they got $200K off the bat, which is like, that mean if they give you that much as an undrafted free agent, they intend to keep you. They intend to do something with you. So I'm looking to see what they want to do with Earl Bostick and how he pans out. And Lindstom from last year, center from last year, no one came in front of him. So he has a chance. He has a second chance, really. He has a second chance to impress, to get a chance to be on that team because we need help in that interior of offensive line. All right. At wide receiver, David Burden. He came in as a hard-working player. I love the hard-working players. Noah Brown and somebody else. It was two. Noah and somebody was playing, had lots of reps on special teams, and they need to be fulfilled. And a player like Burden can do what Noah Brown was doing on special teams. And I just don't know how the wide receiver room looks this year. I really don't. I know we got the first three locked down. We got CD, we got Gallup, and we got Brandon Cooks all locked down. But after that, it gets really murky. So I think right now our wide receiver core is 3, and we'll see what comes after that. You know what I'm saying? That's how we have to think of it right now. All right, because all these undrafted free agent wide receivers, the 7th round pick from South Carolina, all these guys they have a shot if they can play special teams and if they can do other things other than just catch the ball, because we have our first 3 starters. And then you got to think about it. If CD is down, what are we gonna do with Gallup and Cooks? You know what I'm saying? If CD can't go, I don't feel like that is a winning combination. You know what I'm saying? So just worried about our depth at wide receiver a little bit. And we have a lot of guys that come in the draft that hopefully can fulfill that. All right. Asim Richards is ASIM. His name is ASIM, but it's pronounced awesome. Like awesome. So Asim Richards is 6'4". And he's another one that can play a lot of positions. I know you guys are loving this offensive line stuff from us or whatever, that we have possibilities in the interior of our line. But this guy might become our biggest deal. He's another work ethic guy. And if he pans out, if this guy, of all the draft picks we have, if this guy pans out, Asim Richards, it's going to be absolutely huge for us. Absolutely huge. Keep my eye on that guy. So my favorite 3 of ours, our favorite 3. Now tell me below what are your favorite 3. My favorite 3 are Duce Vaughn, 6th round. Of course, probably all of y'all are going to put Duce round. Hunter Luepke. It's that I just want to see what he does, man. I think he can do everything with the ball. I think he can run heavy. I think he can run with the ball in his hands light. I know he can catch the ball and he can run routes. I know he can block. So I'm just curious on how well he will fit into our offense. I hope a lot, really do. And Viliami Fehoko, the defensive lineman, again, a player with an unending motor. He can be big for our defense. I feel like Mazi is Mazi. I think we're going to be fine with that. But if Fehoko and Asim Richards, if those 2 pan out, they're at positions of true need, and it'll be absolutely huge for us. Okay? All right. Now, around the league, quickly, I'll do this quickly. Colts are legit. I can't wait to see them. I'm so happy for my dad. I keep telling him, Dad, man, I can't wait to see the Colts. I can't wait. He's like, sure. Colts suck. That's of course, they're Colts fans. We went to Carolina, and I found out that Bryce Young is tiny. He's not just small. He's tiny. He's a little dude with a big old helmet. I don't know how that's going to pan out. All I know is I yelled at the Cleveland Browns for drafting Baker Mayfield because he's too little at number 1 overall. There's just no way in God's green earth I would draft a short or a player with physical limitations at number 1. I just wouldn't do it. I know it doesn't mean anything when I get down to the bottom of the draft. It doesn't. But when I'm picking a stud, I don't want, oh man, he wasn't tall enough, because you knew that. Oh, he's not big enough. You knew that. You know what I'm saying? It's like drafting a quarterback that can only throw 40 yards, but he's super accurate. But he still can only throw 40 yards. Maybe later, and I can build an offense around those 40 yards. But if you drafted a number 1, he has to be big. He has to be strong. He has to be a baller. He has to have a motor. It's a lot of boxes you got to check. That's just me. All right. The Seahawks, I hate talking about. Can y'all ban me from talking about the Seahawks? Seems like every game I'm like, well, what they doing in Seattle is sick of it. But they got a 4th rounder, Cameron Young, and he came in at 320. He's a nose tackle. And he came in at 320 instead of 304, which is like, wow, you've been eating. Thanks a lot, dude. And it probably came in right instead of coming in, just like a spare tire around his belly. All right. Then with the Falcons, they had Bijan lining up everywhere. I think the league is changing. We're going to something. I think the Falcons call it positionless football. I kind of love it. They run it in Miami. They run it in San Francisco. They run it in a lot of places, what I really like. And I kind of hope we kind of employ some of that stuff. In Detroit, that's another team that everybody's talking a lot about with their draft picks. And Sam Laporta reportedly put on a show. Tight end Sam Laporta reportedly put on a show there. And James Slater she threw out that before the draft that we had Sam Laporta as a first round option. And I'm going to remember that moment, you know. I want to say, because Laporta didn't stand out to me, but we'll see how much better he is than Scooney, if any at all, you know. And then I have a strong feeling about that Jack Campbell. They said he just fell out in place, and whatever they told him to do, if he did something wrong, he corrected it. He's becoming I just see a Luke Kuechly type perfected player there with Jack. I really do. All right. And Drew Sanders in Denver had a great day. A lot of us was like, why is everybody passing on Drew Sanders? And Drew Sanders went into Denver and he showed them why, everybody else made a mistake on that one, including us. There's no buzz out of Buffalo about Kincaid. So I like it there because we think they jumped in front of us to take Kincaid, but I'm not hearing anything out of there. Like the buzz that we heard about Laporta in Detroit. A-Chain is getting the small thing too. You know what? And of course I wanted A-Chain, but the more I think about it, as a small back, I'd not just rather have Duce. I'd much rather have Duce. The only thing different is the top. The only thing A-Chain has on Duce is the top end speed. But the hands, the experience, the side to side agility, the moves, everything I'd rather have. And not only that, the build. You know what I'm saying? He is stocky, low center of gravity type running back. I'd rather take Duce any day. The Commanders, and here's another one that I'm going to keep an eye on because of draft. They said the Commanders got Emmanuel Forbes out of our pocket because we were planning to get Forbes first round as well. And we're going to keep an eye on him. He played in the slot for the Commanders, which nobody expected. They thought he was an outside corner, and he was killing it, making interceptions, everything in the slot. And, maybe we knew he was that versatile. That's why we were looking at him in the first round. But like I said, the Commanders, they all their picks look good. They even got more receivers. I'm telling you, wide receiver, the Commanders greater than sign Cowboys as far as a unit. We have the best one. We have the best one probably in the division. But when it goes depth-wise, I think maybe the Redskins might be the best in the division. Oh, did you like to hear that, Eagles fans? I'll leave you with that little nugget. All right, man. I'll let you. Peace out.